Hello? Hey everyone, welcome back to Gourmand. I'm playing Gourmand again. Can you believe it? Oh, this is kind of song. There we go. That's nice. Yep. Hello everyone. I'm playing Gourmand again. There's a reason why. I was inspired recently because of a message in the Rainbow Discord. Someone was asking about 80% runs for the downpour characters and asking why there's been none done before. I'll answer that question actually right now. Most 80% categories end in the depths and they involve some sort of guardian skip. So pretty much every single 80% category converges into the same strategy. Get some method of skipping the guardians, go to the depths, and like that's it. So once every character, you know, they have a bunch of different starting locations, but once you reach subterranean, all the routes become exactly the same pretty much. So it's kind of a boring category because even if you play different characters, they're going to be very similar routes. And something that's really nice about Downpour is that each character has kind of a bunch of different categories to do. You know, they have a different story percent run. They might have a different like pilgrimage route. Well, that's also a similar category. It's like, you know, you just get the echoes. You just go to the depths. So any of the categories that sound or that end in the depths and the ascension ending, they kind of are very similar. It could be a bit boring. Percent. What does that even mean? Gourmand Any is interesting because you can use a singularity bomb to skip the guardians, which is fun. There's also a lot of interesting things you can do that make that faster. I think it's actually a really funny run, and I have run it before. Specifically for a speedrunning marathon event that was done actually quite a while ago now. A good few months. I ran this category for the event and I practiced it a bunch, but I never submitted the time to speedrun.com. So like a run exists of the category, I just haven't submitted it. So I basically am just doing this now to just clean that run up, you know, just have one to submit and have it on the leaderboard, just so that people know that there is an 80% run for Gourmand. This might not take that long because this is actually pretty much the only reason I'm running this is because it's actually pretty easy. This is not too difficult of a category. Pretty much everything up until Subterranean is super easy. And the Subterranean is kind of a rough region. It's not too bad. So pretty much just a single region that's a bit difficult. So the run isn't too bad and it's really short. So hopefully I can actually just complete this run pretty quickly. And that'll be it. But you know how it is when I say that a category is going to be easy, and then it takes like several streams, but I actually believe that's the case for this one. So this is the first funny thing about this run. The use of the Karma Flower from Hunter. Because you do use it in crafting, so it does save time actually. I had something over there, that rock. So pretty much this entire route is like completely devoid of creatures that are dangerous at all. Like the only creatures that are slightly dangerous in the beginning are like some spiders, like regular wolf spiders, so that's not a really big problem at all. So now we do some crafting. Interesting thing about this, oh, that's just about as lucky as you can get. Shout out to the one person on the speedrun.com like page for Rain Worlds asking if RNG is going to be a problem for Gourmand, because you can just do stuff like that. So that's like best case scenario, getting a bomb like that. And now we karma cash for 2 minutes. Unfortunate thing about this run is that you do have to karma cash for quite a long time. I need to get up to karma 5. Just like reveal it. Alternatively, you can karma cash to like level 4 and then shelter again in shoreline. Also, this route is kind of interesting because you go through shoreline. As you start in shaded, you might as well go to the region that's closest to subterranean. Most other any % routes just go through drainage system. And the movement that you do in drainage system isn't really that different for the different characters. So there's also 2 different things you can do in subterranean. There are some jetfish that you can pick up in shoreline right before you make it to sub. And the jetfish might make those rooms faster. They actually aren't very good at moving Gourmand quickly, which makes sense. But if you do like slide pounces and roll pounces while holding a jetfish, they go way farther for some reason. It's like you're playing Rivulet, but like actually better than Rivulet. But also, dragging a jetfish around can kind of slow you down in some other places, like when going through tunnels or climbing up poles. So I don't actually know if it's faster, but I think it'd be fun to try it out just because. And I don't really care too much about optimizing this. Also, a reason why I think it's not going to take too many attempts, because I don't really care about mistakes. I just want to finish a run following the routes without anything major. So having a rock here is actually pretty important. I want to have it for an AI hop later, but the next room doesn't have many rocks in it. Hello. Welcome to the stream. I should probably stop doing this. Nice. That's optimal. There is a salamander here. That's like the only dangerous creature in shoreline. If they're underwater, then I'm pretty much dead. We're good. No, go down, please. Another thing you can do is to get some food and shelter at the start of subterranean, which is really convenient because it's very easy to die in subterranean. It's a very dangerous area. So if you want to play it safe, that's a good place to shelter. But you guys know that I like to avoid shelters when possible. This is actually one of the most difficult parts of the run right here. Swimming through this tunnel is very close. I made it. As long as you make it underneath, or once you make it into this end of the tunnel, you're pretty much safe. You'll automatically float up, even if you're low on breath. Oh, sorry about that. I just killed him. So jetfish don't actually really make you that much faster underwater. Well, they make you faster, but not nearly as much as they do for like Survivor. Oh, no, I'm getting bullied. I think it might actually be faster to go through this room without the jetfish, just by like going up top and sliding through. Oh, I killed that guy. Gourmand's accidental violence returns. Like, it takes way longer to climb up this room. Well, actually, it's not that bad. Like, see how high that jump was? Your movement is very strange for the jetfish. But then climbing this one pole takes like twice as long. You can see why having a jetfish can help out in this area. This next room is very dangerous. There's a bunch of dropoids. I'm hoping that I can just move quickly enough with the... Whoops. I actually canceled the roll. You can see there's a dropoid right there. I'm still alive. I don't know how. Gourmand is crazy. Jetfish might be dead, but that doesn't really matter. Uh-oh. Two problems. Right, problems are gone. As long as the centipede doesn't go to the left. Yeah, any percent. It's kind of weird. Like, this area is just weirdly slow if creatures are in the way. Oh, thank you for moving. There's a stowaway up there. Check the map here for safety. Oh, did the stream die? This room is another RNG mess. I think they're in a pretty good spots. Yeah, that's fine. They're just mowing the lawn. And luckily they caught themselves a scavenger, so I can just run on through. Whoops. I hear centipede. You don't know how big the centipede is. I just damaged that guy. I don't know how. That's a spider. Should be a green spider though, so pretty harmless. Yeah, thank you. I messed up. Okay, so at this point the run is pretty much done, right? I just need to make it through the depths. As long as I don't mess up the singularity bomb throw, then I'll be good. In the depths, it's all about rolling. I overdid that a little bit. That's bad. Yeah, don't do that. Oh, it's very easy to go too far as Gourmand. Depths is actually kind of like the perfect region for Gourmand. You can roll everywhere, you can do a bunch of VI hops. And there's no creatures here, so no downside, really. This song is a bit late. Oh gosh, I messed up both of those. I think to accidentally bonk. Yeah, no violence, no. I made a mistake. Yeah, that guy's still very much alive. Just go in the pipe. Wait, can Gourmand even die to this? Yeah. I may have forgotten where to throw. Okay, well that was first try, so I guess I'll just do that again. Any tips for beginners? I'm the best, absolutely the best source for advice. What, for the game in general, or for Gourmand maybe? It really helps to know what like stage of the game you're at or what your current skill level is. Or for like in game in general. Survive, yeah, that helps. I'm not dying. Actually, you know what? Dying is totally fine. if you die, that's an opportunity to learn from your mistakes, to gain more knowledge. It can be a little bit annoying to get stuck in an area and repeatedly die. That's kind of part of the experience. I mean, a lot of people go through that stage when they play. Patience is like super important. That's like, if there is a creature that you are struggling to get past, just like wait it out. It's like one of the most important skills to know, like when you should just wait for the right opportunity. Now I'm doing a speedrun right now, so I'm not going to be waiting. Okay, I may have to get lucky here. That's pretty good. That's really good. I don't care about you. Wow, okay. A little bit slower. I mean, everything's gonna be slower than the luck that I got last time, but what's this track? This is Orange Lizard. Sequel to White Lizard. Yellows don't spawn in, so they probably do for Saint or revisit. This song is Lone Sound. I think it plays in Shoreline. That was bad timing. I'm looking for a rock. There's a rock. We're good. That was very close. Make a grenade? Ah, I already did. Sorry you missed that part. Welcome to the stream. Oh dear. I'm alive. Somehow. Very surprised by that. It's fine. If you stick around, you can see me use the grenade. Hello. Welcome to the stream. I'm doing the run. Oh. Are you dead? Why are you already dead? I don't even... I mean, usually they die after I get through the room. Oh dear, that jetfish is running away. I may not be able to use one this run. Unless they go all the way to the other side of the room. Which they probably have, but that's what it looks like. Okay, well, they're gone. Last run, I used a jetfish in Subterranean. He messes with your physics in a weird way that makes you way faster. Hey guys, you're really annoying right now, you know. Please get out of the way. Thank you. Now my alternate strategy, if I don't have a jetfish, is a bomb. So we're doing this again. That's a centipede. People look at this and be like, look, it's true, Gourmand is fast. There wasn't even anything over here. That's usually the spot where the dropwigs hang out. Please move. Oh, there's actually no kelp here. That's convenient. I mean, I would assume that if Gourmand is such a good character, that there would be more speedruns, you know? If you really like this character, and if they're so strong, you know, it'd be really fun to speedrun, right? I'm the only one who's doing Gourmand speedruns, and I'm also the one who dislikes Gourmand the most. So, something doesn't make sense here. I don't know how big that centipede is. I'm going to pretend that it's not significant. Instead, I got a sizable spider. Need to get the safety. Too high of a skill ceiling? I think it's the opposite. I think Gourmand has a lower skill ceiling than most like cats. Most of the time movement kind of just goes down to rolling. Just roll a bunch. Limit your how many jumps you do. Where is this guy going? Down. I don't know how to. I guess I go this way instead. Or it felt like easy mode. Yeah, I like that. Hello, welcome to the stream. Don't feel sorry for being late. You can show up whenever you're able to. They see that only a handful of people have run Gourmand, so they think it might be super difficult. Get out of the way. Wow. Down here. I've never died this far in the run before. Oh, no Saint spoilers. Alright. I always warn of Saint spoilers anyway, even though I assume that most people have seen it. I think that Gourmand appeals more to casual players. When you're already speedrunning the game and you're used to doing a bunch of movement tech, Gourmand can be really unappealing because you suddenly have to limit the amount of movement that you do. Whereas casual players, of course, they don't care if they can't do movement tech, they don't use it anyway. And they just see this funny character and they're like, I love this guy. Hunter. I hear a lot of people saying that Hunter is actually the hardest campaign. I don't know how to feel about that because I feel like I've never really struggled with Hunter, but I've also never really attempted a full Hunter run until I was confident enough to do so, you know? If I had, just beaten Survivor, and I was like, all right, time to do Hunter, it probably would have been really difficult. Okay. But, I only ran a full, Hunter run where you go to Pebbles and you go to Moon and then you ascend. I only did that whole thing, way later. When I was already, way better at the game. At that point, it was, pretty easy. You actually have, plenty of cycles to spare, so you can take a lot of shelters. As long as you're constantly making progress in the right direction. Artie, however... Artie is, interesting because they're not actually that difficult. There's not really a penalty for dying, right? Because you don't have karma to lose. You're always at the lowest possible karma. So you can die 100 times, and you don't lose any progress, right? You can always keep going. You can always get a karma, or get a scavenger for karma. And so pretty much anyone can beat Artificer with enough attempts, right? Whereas Hunter, Hunter requires planning in advance, and mistakes early on in the run can have an effect later in the run, If you waste too many cycles trying to gain karma, you may not have enough cycles left to make it to the end. So there's situations where you can actually get stuck in a Hunter run that doesn't happen in any other campaign. So it's understandable why some people might think that Hunter's the most difficult. But also, if it takes you 100 deaths to beat Artificer, Is that an easy campaign? Because, yeah, you could eventually beat it, but it took you 100 deaths. Maybe more than that. Okay, great timing to get tired. Yeah, I messed it up both times, that's cool. The 100 long legs is actually to give me a karma flower. Oh, please be nice. Thank you. Yeah, 100 drops the karma flower when they die. So you can get it in other campaigns. Yeah, that's literally the entire point of the run. That's why this is interesting. To make the singularity bomb. The 100 long legs was also for a joke category where you try to die to the 100 long legs as fast as possible. And I had a kind of a back and forth with another speedrunner to try to get the world record in that category. Just spent a bunch of attempts moving to the next room, immediately dying to the 100 long legs. That's a fun category. I mean, fun is debatable because it was very short and took a lot of attempts. Because you're basically trying to like perfect your movement in every single possible way in a run that short. I was thinking just recently about the idea of like what makes a speedrun difficult. If you watched my arty speedruns, you know that those are quite difficult. But they didn't have to be difficult. I could have taken a bunch of shelters, I could have played super careful. As long as I made it to the end eventually, you know, it still would have counted as a speedrun, right? As long as they just go from the beginning and always try to make progress towards the end of the run, is it still a speedrun, no matter how long it takes? So in that case, the run is actually quite easy because you can take your time, you can die as many times as you want, as long as you eventually make it to the end, you know? So just because an optimized version of the speedrun or like getting world record, just because that's difficult, does that make the entire speedrun difficult? There is definitely some level of difficulty in even completing a run in the first place, right? How many obstacles are in your way? I mean, I see some people run like Artificer, for example, and even if they try as hard as possible to make it to the end, and even if they take shelters to be safe, they might still just die a bunch, and that makes the run slow. So even like completing the run at all, just because you spend all your time like dying, you know, that can be quite difficult. That was close. I want that rock. I can see the salamander down there. I guess this is close enough. Damn, I was too slow there. I like how the jetfish moving around off the jet, or it pops the. I killed this jetfish. Did I kill both of them? They're both dead. What the heck? I'm not trying to. It just happens. There's just Gourmand's very existence threatens the wildlife around them. Hey, come back, please. Whoa! I did not mean to do that, but I'd like to do it again. Thank you. Okay, let's try not to kill this one. Oh, too fast. No. Okay, they're stuck in the floor right now. Like halfway through this funnel. This is the dropwood danger zone. Unless the centipedes killed them all or something. There they are. Luckily, just the act of rolling is enough to damage the kelp. And actually make getting past the kelp quite easy if you just can roll. That's fun. Small centipede in here. Okay, that's down below. Normal subterranean activities. You move really quickly even if you're tired. Okay. Our old friend is here. I can wait a bit though. I need to recover stamina anyway. There we go. Rip dropwing. Set up the result. Alright, thank you, Jetfish. Have fun being here. There wasn't that spot for some reason. Okay, what can be really annoying is that if a mole lizard or some other creature shows up in this pipe right here, basically nothing you can do about it. Well, I actually like this. I like how there's no creatures here. Ideal scenario. They did a very good job making the spiders actually look like spiders. Obviously. They move very naturally and in kind of a creepy way, but it fits perfectly. Alright, I have one goal. Don't miss the Guardians. It's actually funny how Reynolds spiders are actually like super harmless. Except for spitter spiders, like green spiders and regular spiders are like not very dangerous at all. You can pretty much just ignore them. Unless there's like a lot of them and you're in a very dark area. But that's only like a few rooms in shaded. Most of the time, regular wolf spiders are super harmless. And they actually really suck at hurting you at all. There we go. Sorry, you won't get to see the explosion. Now we roll. unable to start a roll here for some reason. That kind of sucked. Nope. Some rooms it's not even worth recovering. You can move pretty quickly when you're tired. In some situations. Basically if you're going down or if you're like even at a slight angle like that. Oh great, I got tired. I don't know what happens if you try to swim in the void sea when you're tired, but I'm not gonna risk it. Alright, there we go. An ending song at the ending. Wrong ending song though. What's that? 1727? I think that was like a totally fine run. There weren't really many parts that were massive time losses. I actually want to check real quick what my previous record was on this. I know where the VOD is. Okay, maybe I don't. There it is. Oh, this is the new best. My previous run was 19 something. I can't really read it. It was over 19 minutes, so this is faster by like a few minutes. That's nice. I'll submit this run. Anyway, since I finished that, only about an hour. I figured it wouldn't take that long to complete. How to get the rifle in sandbox. Don't you need to complete some expedition stuff? I think some amount of like things, or maybe challenge mode. Yeah. Beat the arty challenges. So in arena. These challenges. I think if you complete all these, or maybe just the ones with the gun. Expedition or challenge, both of them work. I don't know. You do something there. Oh, hello. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, I just finished the Gourmand Any run. Oh, you know, I just realized. So what I was planning on doing was practicing the Saint speedrun. It's a run that I haven't done in a while. And I want to kind of get a refresher on it. Maybe I'll eventually get back to doing runs to improve my time. However, we have someone in our chat who wanted to avoid Saint spoilers, right? 29, 31, and 35. If you want to complete those challenges to get the joke rifle. Yeah, so I suppose there will be Saint spoilers. I don't know if I have any advice for challenge 70. It's difficult. Just like put a lot of attempts into it. It took me quite a few days. Probably longer than the rest of the challenges combined. Maybe, well, that's debatable, considering some of the other challenges can take quite a long time too. Alright. I'll be moving on to Saints now. Oh, this is actually the wrong save file. God, this is the save file with the Hunter long leg set up by Gourmand. It's been a while. So I need to just remember. Actually, I should remember what the route is. I've done this run quite a lot. The Saint route can be a little bit confusing. Remember being on the stream, we learned that could be used. I kind of wonder who figured out, or who originally used that strategy. Because I saw the clip of someone doing that And I was like, huh, I wonder if that would be useful in the speedrun at all. And so I used it in the speedrun. And then... Was it lagging? OBS doesn't tell me it's lagging. I don't know what to trust. Usually OBS is like, hey, you dropped some amount of frames. Oops, don't do that. So, you know, I used, you know, but I don't want to say that I was the one to, like, discover the tech, right? Surely someone else was speedrunning Saint. I mean, okay, there's not really that many Saint runners, so probably not. Oops, don't go this way. I just don't like claiming to be the first one to discover stuff if I'm not entirely confident. Should I change the stream title? I finished the Gourmand run already. YouTube is being weird. Is it just a YouTube problem? Oh, nice AI hop. Discovered a useful implementation of it. How'd it go? It was, there were 2 runs that I definitely should have finished. One time I made it to the Guardians. Well, okay, if you don't know, the Gourmand Any % run involves crafting a Singularity Bomb at the beginning, going to Shoreline, then to Subterranean, and then down to the depths, and you use the Singularity Bomb on the Guardians to get rid of them. And then you can go down and ascend. In the very first attempt, I made it down to the depths, and I got to the Guardians, and then I missed the Singularity Bomb. It only hit one of the Guardians and missed the other one, so I couldn't continue. A few attempts later, I got back down to the depths, but I died to a mole lizard in the very last room of filtration system. So I was just about to leave and go down to the depths, but a mole lizard got me. Oh, this is a nice song to play right now. And then a few runs after that, I did make it to the end, and that was a pretty good run. It's not really that hard of a category. Are you good? I'd rather you not repeat a single kind of strange message like 20 times. I totally could have avoided the mole lizard, but I got exhausted at the wrong time, so I couldn't run away. Classic Gourmand moment. Other than reds, there's another. I don't know, it's probably cyans are the worst, like, normal lizard. Rather phase 2's lands than 1 mole, really? Is that because you normally fight moles in very confined spaces and you don't have much space to move? I feel like moles are basically just like pink lizards, right? The most dangerous thing about mole lizards is that they usually come in massive groups. Used to low spear damage. Well, then wouldn't that make slams even worse? Usually you can just stab them with 1 spear and they're injured and they can't keep chasing you. I mean, that's the case for most lizards as like Hunter. Why is the Saint here? Why not? This is the wrong way. Yeah, I knew I'd forget some of the routes. Go this way. I already finished the Gourmand run, so I'm just doing some Saint practice, because it's been a while. I think Yeek should still be here. Yeah. Alright, there you go. I changed it on Twitch. So we're going this way. Well, everyone on YouTube, I have a question for you guys. Which is more dangerous? Mole lizards or cyan lizards? But cyan lizards also come in large groups. With hunter spawns, they can be really bad. Like at the top of the wall. Well, not the top of the wall. In the middle of the wall, in the orb room, there's like 4 or 5 cyan lizards. Moles are no problem if you crouch. Yeah, you can just stealth past them. They don't even know you're there. The easiest place to fight one? Okay, you know, I'm looking at this from a perspective of a speedrunner. Where Cyans can end a lot of runs very easily. They have been one of the biggest difficulties in Saint story percent runs. Mole lizards can also end a lot of runs, but that's usually because you're taking a lot of risks in filtration, just trying to take the fastest route through. And if a mole lizard is in the way, then the run's kind of over. But there's so many alternate paths in filtration system, you can always take a safe route and just avoid them entirely. Am I just bad at dealing with Cyans? Yeah, I am just walking through Wormgrass. This is why I grabbed the Yeek. Like, if you're in a situation where there is like a corner that the Cyan has to go around, you can wait around that corner, wait for the Cyan to show up, and then you can hit him with a rock and it will fall. Okay, you can do that. But do you have time to sit there and prepare a rock for this Cyan to show up at the right time? I dropped them here. I got the gooey ducks, right? What if you're in an area that doesn't have a room like that? What were they doing? You're in a really wide open room where Cyans can approach from any direction. And there's multiple of them. Well, okay, I can say the multiple of them argument for both lizards. But I feel like in ideal scenarios, you can deal with both lizards super easily. If there's one Cyan lizard, you just hit him with a rock and a spear and he's dead. If it's one mole lizard, you do the same. It's the same exact scenario. Your interactions with the iterators determine if it's an any percent or a story percent run. At the very beginning, up to that point, it's pretty much exactly the same. Actually, it is just exactly the same. Gotten used to Cyans? Damn, I need to practice then. If you can just easily... If you can get so good at dealing with Cyans that they're easier to deal with than mole lizards, then I need to practice more. Stream crash. Okay, is this just a thing that happens now? OBS doesn't even say anything. It's like 0 drop frames. Normal bitrate. Yeah, they're really bad as Riv too. The cyans in the gutter. YouTube is fine. Apparently there's problems on YouTube too. I don't know, maybe refresh the stream. Maybe there's some sort of weird problem going on with the servers. I don't know. Here's a good demonstration of the inconsistency of yeeks. Sometimes they don't want to do what you want them to do. Pink lizards, I feel like in terms of just like stats alone, pink lizards are actually quite dangerous because they move very quickly. They're very quick to bite you. Like, it kind of makes up for their lack of any other special abilities. I've never really thought of mole lizards as being a dangerous variant. Mostly only dangerous because there's a lot of them and they get in the way. Worst way to move through this room, goodness. I feel like Monk can't even stun like most lizards anyway. Like, I can't say much about Monk. I don't play them often. They're not very good at stunning in general. Is it molds in particular who are really like stun resistant? Yep, we're on the Saint now. This is the wrong echo music. That's fine, I guess. Yeah, like that's another thing you can do. You can hit them with the rock, then the spear, then the rock again, and then the spear, and you know, you just do that as much as you need to. The second spear will stun them for longer than the first one. He's trying its hardest. This is one of the worst parts of the run. Not yet. In a few rooms. My greens are like an old friend. How about I test it right now? Oh. I'm gonna have to reset for this, that's cool. Actually, no, I can just, there we go. Whoops. Wrong one. Arena. Yep, combat song now. Okay, well, there was another spear there. He's so dangerous. I'm very bad at that. I don't see why normal lizard strategies wouldn't work against moles. Yeah, but all the rooms that you find, oh, see, that's the kind of thing I'm expecting. You know, there you go. I really good at doing that consistently. And it's like way harder to run away from a Scion too. They're just like much faster in like everywhere. Except for like maybe in tight tunnels, which is kind of environments that you'll find moles in. But these kind of environments are where you're gonna find Scions in. And they're actually able to catch up. For a mole lizard, you could just like take a different tunnel and you'll be safe. That can work out if this happens. Just kidding. Monk is too weak even after that. There we go. It seems like it's easier to head spear Scions than moles. This song doesn't play in game. It's from one of the trailers. Let's find a better map then. I don't think I've ever been here. In rooms like these, there's so many alternate ways you can go. And you're very quiet when moving through tunnels, so they can't even hear where you're going. Why are we even talking about this in the first place? Because you just said that mold lizards are harder to deal with. Was that because I asked the question too? We're going to undergrowth. I don't know, I just spend a bunch of time in arena mode throwing spears at lizards, and you get better at the timing. You should test at different timings, like try to throw the spear right after crouching, or try to throw the spear at the end of the crouching animation, and see which one it works out to be the most consistent for you. Did you see the beginning of the stream where I was running Gourmand? I actually use that kind of stuff, that kind of strategy in subterranean. I bring a jetfish from shoreline into subterranean, so I can do a bunch of slide pounces and roll pounces faster than normal. I don't actually know if it saves time because you have to drag a jetfish with you from shoreline. Yeah, Saint has to find a lot of echoes, so the route is kind of interesting. You take a lot of shelters. This room is awful. This is actually like one of the worst rooms for speedruns. These really long tunnels are a huge pain. If there's a single creature in the tunnel, you're just blocked off from the route completely. A subterranean song. You know, I just thought of something recently. A lot of okay, so I made the video, the Saint spin video, where I spin around a bunch at Saint. Pretty obvious. And a bunch of people left comments on that video talking about how it's some sort of movement tech. Which I personally don't understand, because spinning doesn't make any difference to your movement. It just looks funny. I can't do this. There we go. I'm spinning right now. The physics are exactly the same as if I weren't spinning. It doesn't change your movement at all. But people in that video were talking about, like, they were talking about it like it was some sort of advanced movement tech. And that kind of confused me for a long time. Because there's nothing special about spinning in the air that compared to just swinging around regularly. But I thought that maybe it's because I was just swinging pretty well in the video and people were pointing out the fact that I was swinging pretty quickly around and navigating rooms. Maybe that's what they were referring to. Yeah, gooey ducks are for Gourmand. When you go to Ad Expanse, you need a lot more food. Or Gourmand needs a lot more food, so they added gooey ducks, so that they can put more food in the region without having too many different fruits. I mean, that's just a theory. I think it makes sense, right? Plus, it's cool that there's a different variant of food in a very distant part of the world. Makes it feel more unique. Please. A funny name. All the food items added in Downpour have really strange names. I'm so good at Saint. So do I want to do story percent or any percent? That's what I'm wondering now. When I get to Shoreline, there's the connection to Shoreline from Subterranean. If you're in Subterranean, you just go to the right. You'll eventually end up in Shoreline. I think I'll do the story percent route, which, hold up, I need to remember what the route actually is. I think it's Moon, Pebbles, Shelter, and Pebbles. Or, well, you get Moon, get the Echo near Moon, then you go up to Pebbles, Shelter, get the Echo, then visit Pebbles, then go down to Shoreline, visit Moon, then go to Subterranean. So go to Moon first. You may notice the lack of massive jellyfish in this area. If you've ever been in these rooms, I've Saint for whatever reason. Or if you've seen the speedrun. I've died to these jellyfish a few times actually. In runs. Just Artie. I think there are jetfish here that you can use. I didn't see any though. Monk and Artie, those are very different characters. They would be friends. I think all the slug has to be friends. They're a very social species. Yeah, Monk is actually probably pretty young compared to most other characters. Monk and Survivor. I think actually Monk likes to be peaceful, right? That's kind of why the world is easier for them. I mean, that kind of doesn't really make sense why the difficulty of the world would depend on like the feelings of the slug. That would suggest that Saints should be very easy because they're very peaceful. I think it makes more sense just to assume that Monk takes place in a time that's more peaceful. I consider sometimes if I should run Monk story percent. It's a category that I've looked into in the past, but I've never really taken seriously. Maybe I should try it out. Like it's a pretty long run, but it's also Monk, so it's easier. So maybe it kind of cancels out. The route is very interesting. There's some like pretty difficult parts actually. I don't know if you can easily declare Saint as having some specific function or goal. You don't have to ascend the iterators. But I guess, you know, you don't need to save Moon as Hunter either. But that's what you're supposed to do in the run, right? Monk story percent specifically is the category where you basically do everything that Monk canonically does. So you bring neurons to Moon, you get the cloak from Submerged Superstructure and bring that to Moon. And then you go to Outer Expanse to get the ending. So yeah, that's a lot of stuff to do. Hello, welcome back. Don't fall here. Okay, there's two. Well, I'm not entirely confident in this. I think there's two different rain world cannons. There's the vanilla cannon and then the downpour cannon. In vanilla, all the Slugats ascend in the end. That's the only option. In the downpour cannon, none of them ascend. Except for Hunter. Hunter's the only one that ascends. And I guess, well, they might ascend like after the campaign is done because they aren't like definitive ends. Like Rivulet could spend some time at the moon and then go ascend whenever they want, really. Yeah, and well, Saints, you know, they have their whole thing. Hunter does ascend. Well, it depends on your past actions. So the way the Rain World story works is that there's a series of events that are supposed to happen, and then there's some ways that you can have an effect on that based on the way you play the game. So Monk is supposed to bring Neurons and the Cloak to Moon, right? Because regardless of your actions, or actually no, if you do nothing, by the time you play Rivulets, Moon will have the Neurons and she will have the Cloak. Assuming that Monk, or that suggests that Monk did go and do those things, right? However, if you go as Survivor, for example, and you bring Neurons to Moon and the Cloak, then you can play Monk and see that she has the Neurons and the Cloak, because you did those things as Survivor. So the same thing applies to... Do I shelter here? I think I do. Whatever. I'll take the next... Actually, no, I'll shelter here. For Hunter, what happens if you do nothing is there is no Hunter Longlegs, right? But I guess the Hunter Longlegs could still exist, but you just don't see them. That's a possibility. But I think it's safe to assume that Hunter tries to ascend. Moon says that they went west towards the depths, or towards the farm rays, maybe. If you go out of your way and die as the Hunter, and you lose a run, then you will find the Hunter Longlegs as Gourmand. It's specifically your actions that cause Hunter Longlegs to appear. So in that timeline, where you have an impact on the world, Hunter fails to ascend, it becomes the Hunter Longlegs, right? But in the canon timeline, Hunter either does successfully ascend or they try to ascend, regardless of like what you do, you know? If you never touch Hunter at all. Moon had an extra neuron for Hunter. Oh, so an extra neuron for Hunter and Gourmand, but not one for Survivor, suggesting that Gourmand ate one. Canonically. I guess if you're going for the food quest, it's an option. I don't think anyone knows what the Hunter End means. I agree. Everyone seems to have different theories. And usually they assume that their own theory is correct. When explaining the lore of the game, they're like, yep, Hunter goes to the Void Sea and then this happens. It's like, well, do you know that? That's actually true for a lot of things in Rain World. I like to think that it is a good end for Hunter. Because the reality of becoming the Hunter Longlegs is kind of like awful. So Ascension is like the nice alternative, you know. And I guess you could interpret it as the infection is removed from their body once they enter the Void Sea. That's kind of what the cutscene looks like. survivor tree ending? You mean what you see when you go to the Void Sea, or when you go to the tree in Outer Expanse? Those are both trees. Also, I forgot the shelter, so that's time loss. Whatever. Normally you shelter in pebbles to save some time. Maybe it doesn't save time. Because, well, I don't know. Tree ending. Outer Expanse. I mean, that just means they went to Outer Expanse. They made up with Survivor and the Slug Pups, and they lived there for a while. I kind of don't like how some of the Downpour endings aren't really endings. Like, how long do Survivor and Monks stay in the Outer Expanse tree? Like, the Ascension ending is very clear. It's very clearly an ending, you know? Nothing else can happen after that. But, like, Rivulet meets up with Moon after returning to Refraction Cell, right? But then what? You know, what does Rivulet do after that? If you use dev tools as Monk, you think they could fight the God Saint? What kind of like power scaling question is that? Could Steve with creative mode beat Goku? I feel like dev tools don't really do that much. Is there a button that kills stuff? Yeah, because in that case, Monk wins. I guess you can like move around quickly with like the dev tools teleport and stuff. So you could pretty easily dodge the Ascension. Because that actually moves around pretty slowly. Saint would probably still only die in one spear throw. Even though it's Monk. I'd say Monk wins. Monk with dev tools beats the Awakened Saint. Because Saint really only gives the ability to fly around slowly and ascend stuff, which is a one-shot kill, but so are spears, which Monk actually is able to use. I don't think DevTools has invincibility. I feel like even if it did, the Ascension from Saint might actually override it anyway. You guys hear my keyboard from doing that? I messed up. I should revive you so you think you'd beat Ascension. I mean, Pebbles was trying to find a way to ascend anyway. The rot just made that process much longer and much more painful. Monk versus Voidworm. I think the Voidworm. Like, there's not even any way for you to hurt them at all. Hi, Moon. But also, Voidworms don't really have any attacks. I guess they would just kind of just, like, slap you with their tail or something. I mean, they did have one attack in an old version of Rain World. They could, there was a Voidworm in one of the rooms in the depths before the Void Sea, and they would push you around into walls, which would kill you instantly. Since when was there a kill everything in the room button? I'm not aware of that. Okay, I'm bad at this. But also, it's possible that, you know, at the end of the Saint campaign, you try to ascend a Voidworm, but it's possible that they actually survive it. They still move around afterwards, so maybe they wouldn't be affected by that. Oh, is it back? I actually noticed that one. OBS just disconnected. Dev Monk, is that a new character now? Dev Tools Monk. I think it's back. Okay, that's cool. Okay, anyone who says Gourmand is fast has not seen Saint. Saint is fast. Rivulet is fast. Gourmand is like maybe slightly above average in some scenarios. Monk is fast. Yeah, with dev tools. I wanna just spin there. This route may look familiar to you. Ow. I'm not Gourmand, I don't. Just ignore that fall. It's the wrong way. Is the resolution really bad? You can try refreshing the stream. YouTube may have tried to correct for the fact that it was lagging by lowering the resolution. Or you can just try to reset the resolution yourself. It looks fine for me. The little like notch in the symbol at the top, that always bothers me. It's not a perfect circle. Can't go that way. See if I remember how to go through Rubicon. It's been a while. Remember this region? Oh, the Guardians will be here. But nothing else. Rubicon is actually one of the most painful regions to route for in the game, because there's like 3 different ways you can go. They all lead to the same place. And they have, I mean, going through the areas without creatures, you're going to get one result, but going through the air with creatures, you're going to get a completely different result, because creatures make a big difference in Rubicon. So who knows what the actual fastest route is. I think it's the left side if you go through the memory crypts rooms. Hold up, this is the wrong way. Go up here. Yeah, that's right. Oh, welcome to Rubicon. If you care about Saint spoilers, you might not want to see any more than this. And I might end the stream once I make it to the end anyway. yeah, pretty much. I disagree. I think the right side of Rubicon is way easier. It's what I always use in speedrun because it was by far the most consistent. But apparently left side is faster, which bothers me because you have to get past some red lizards. And Mirror's vultures and Mirror's birds. I mean, there's Mirror's vultures everywhere, but Mirror's birds as well. And a bunch of orange lizards in a stupid room later. The right side route is actually like really easy in comparison. But apparently it's slower. I have something stuck in my eye. It's really annoying right now. Try to do it, roll bounce there. Okay, that was way too close for no reason. By the way, in any of these rooms, Emerald's Vulture may descend at any moment and kill you instantly. It's really fun at the very end of a speedrun. A solid wall in my way, I know. So this room, there's like 2 red lizards around this area. And these rooms that don't have much space. Danger water, I think it's lava. Either lava or void fluid, but like extra spicy void fluid. Okay, you guys are talking in a different language. I think this way is faster. There's so many alternate routes in this region. Emo Sky Islands. Sure, you can describe it like that. This region is 100 times worse with creatures, by the way. There's red lizards, red centipedes, Mirror's vultures, Mirror's birds, snails. This is the Mirror's region. One time I entered this room and instantly died. The moment I entered. Like, actually like a frame from exiting the pipe. Just dead instantly like that. That was fun. This room is awful. It's filled with orange lizards. And you have to go through these pipes. These pipes tend to be filled with orange lizards. Even if you do kill them, they still block your path and you have to clear them out. As Saint, who is very physically weak. Not the original Saint mod, yeah, that would be even worse. I mean, it's debatable whether Saint meets all the criteria for the solution to the great problem. Because they definitely are able to ascend things, but whether they are like very portable or like widely applicable, like there's only one Saint unless you can like mass produce them. And they need to slowly one by one ascend everything, so maybe that's like too slow of a solution for what they were looking for. Yeah, he is portable. Anyway, I want to see a cool strategy in this room. does cause a lot of problems. Hello and goodbye. Dev monk is the solution. Oh, okay, yeah, the original version of Saint, if you died, you immediately lost all of your karma unless you had a karma flower. And your ascension abilities only worked if you were at max karma. So by the way, for reference, the current Saints world record is only 2 minutes slower than this. I think that's ridiculous. With all the awful creatures in this run, they're only 2 minutes slower. I feel like that's such a solid record. It'd be really hard to beat. Stop talking about Pokemon. It is not my record. For once, the world record. Well, okay. Speakermaster and Saints, I do not have the world records in. I do have the any percent run record for Saint, which is pretty much the same as this category, but you don't ascend Pebbles and Moon. Both my run and the world record run have a lot of differences in the routing. I go the right side of Rubicon, they go the left side. I use a geek in Farm Raise to get past the Wormgrass. They use a bubbleweed stored in their stomach from a previous run to go through the underwater shortcut that Rivulet can take. I will send Saint to your house. They probably do some other random things because I have not watched the whole run in its entirety. It's like an hour long. Maybe I should someday. Yeah, that's the end of the stream, I think. It's nice to finish that Gourmand run. I had done that run. I had finished it. I just never got a run that I was able to submit. So I will do that later. I don't know if I want to run more Saint, because this is mainly practice for the MSC percent run that I want to do eventually. I will have to play Saint again for that. But whether I'm able to get the world record again for Saint, well, you know, if I get the world record for Spearmaster, I'll probably also want to go for Saint too, just to have all the world records. But anyway, thanks everyone for watching. See ya.